Good evening, everybody. It's 31st of November 2015/16. Happy New Year when it arrives for everybody, or if it has arrived across the world, all the best. Hope you have a great one. Now, I've wanted to do this video for a long time now. Now that I've seen episode 7, I can concentrate and talk about a love of my life, the Star Wars franchise. There we go. There's a nice Blu-ray box set of all the Star Wars films. Now, unfortunately, that's the special editions by George Lucas, when he went back in the 90s and messed around with them all and CGI'd them all. You can get the originals on the internet. You can actually watch them as they were in the cinema if you wanted to do that. But I'm waiting for them to come out on Blu-ray as well. I'll be happy when they do, so I can relive my childhood properly. Now, I'm going to talk about all 6 of them. This will contain spoilers, plot lines and everything, but I won't give spoilers away for episode 7, The Force Awakens. Right? Promise you that. So, let's start off with The Phantom Menace. Liam Neeson, Ewan McGregor. Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn, Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi when he was younger, being trained by Qui-Gon Jinn. They basically go into a trade federation. It's about good versus evil, and on the way there, all these things happen. Wars, fight, breaks out, everything. They get stranded on this desert planet where they meet a mother and child who've been sold into slavery by this flying, looks like a flying walrus, but it's some sort of weird creature. And the little boy is called Anakin. Everyone calls him Annie all the way through the film. And it turns out that Qui-Gon Jinn can sense a presence inside this boy like a Jedi Master could. And he basically decides to buy the boy, because you can't afford to buy the boy and his mother. Buy the boy, take him back to their planet and train him up to be a Jedi Master. That's the story of part 1. Along with the way, they meet Jar Jar Binks, which is an annoying character which everyone knows about. And things happen and everything, and it's all about how a lot of it's boring because of the politics of the film. But The Phantom Menace has got some good bits. The pod race is really good. But one of my friends on YouTube, it was Chris Stuckman, he said that it was like watching a tennis match because everything was filmed left to right, left to right, left to right, all through the pod race. You never see the other side. It's always one-angled film, and I suppose in a way, if you look at the pod race and watch it again, you do get that sense. But it's a good film. It's all right. It's not a great film. It's not too bad. A bit muggy in the middle. Then you get part 2, which is called Attack of the Clones, where after the story of part 1, Anakin Skywalker is now a teenager, and he's a very moody teenager and a bit of a miserable git, to tell the truth. And it's all about how he's growing up and how he's still learning to be this Jedi Master. But his new master who's teaching him is Obi-Wan Kenobi, because in the last one, Qui-Gon Jinn got killed by a Sith Lord. This one, Obi-Wan Kenobi, is now mentoring and looking after Anakin Skywalker. Alright? And it's still the same thing. It's all about trade wars and federations and a lot of politics. There's a lot of action in it, which is pretty good. So it's alright as a film. It's not the best Star Wars film in the world, not by a long shot, but it'll do. I'm going to jump forward to number 3, which is The Revenge of the Sith. So, after the events of number 2 and all the Federation Trade War, it's more or less all-out action, this one, and along with a battle, because in the 3rd one, the Sith, Anakin Skywalker, turns to the dark side and becomes Darth Vader. That's where the origin starts. So you jump forward, all these things that are going on in their life. Anakin also secretly gets married, because he's a young adult now, and he gets married to Padmé, and they have twins, babies, baby girl and baby boy. But because Anakin's now the Dark Master and all that, he's learning to be a dark side. He's gone to the rebels, not the rebels, the evil side. The babies get took away. She dies at childbirth. The babies get split up and took away. The young boy ends up on a planet called Tatooine, and his Uncle Ben and his Uncle Ben to be and wife take him in, whereas Leia gets sent to a different planet so they don't see each other. And basically, that's part 3. Darth Vader does get unveiled near the end because he has a big fight with Obi-Wan Kenobi in this big mine full of lava and volcanoes and fire and everything. It's quite a good, exciting one. Part 3 was the best out of all of them for excitement. Now we go on to the originals and the best of the best. When I was nearly 12 years old, it was like July 77, I think it was, in summer. Myself and my brother went down to the Odeon Cinema in Manchester because all over the world, the whole world was going Star Wars crazy. We'd heard about this in the news and in the papers because we didn't have internet and we didn't have mobile phones, we didn't have anything like this. It was just old-fashioned 1970s England, America. And the world went mad for this film called Star Wars. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And when you're a little kid of 11, 12, it's like Christmas in the middle of summer. Everything that came, I was happy as a child and everything. So we went down on a Sunday afternoon. I always remember it. We had to queue round the block of this cinema. The queue was massive. And as we got on, there was only one cinema in Manchester showing it, the Odeon. And we had it in the Odeon 1 and 2, they had them in both cinemas. And it was that busy. While we were near the front of the queue, because we were only kids, the manager came out and he says, this showing, I think it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, was sold out. However, if you've got any adults or any children, the adults, he said, can stand up at the back if they want to see it that much, or you can, and all the kids can sit in between the stalls on the stairs, in between each of the seats, or on the floor at front and watch it. And we chose to sit on the chair so we didn't have to wait anymore. We went in with my brother. I always remember that the main feature, the supporting feature was a short film all about hot air balloons. Not interested. Nobody was. This seemed to go on forever, and then you have trailers and adverts, and then suddenly the screen opens up and this 20th Century Fox logo starts and all that music comes on, and my eyes just lit up, absolutely lit up. I sat there with my brother, I was so excited, and then they come up, Lucasfilms, after that, and then it comes out a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Then there's a pause for about 3 seconds, and then bam, you just see Star Wars, and it just shoots across, and everyone in the cinema erupted, completely went ballistic, nuts as screwballs. We were all going, yeah, brilliant, absolutely amazing. Then the story comes up, then all you hear is this massive rumbling, and this huge spaceship comes into view right across the screen in front of you. And as an 11-year-old kid, it was like absolutely gobsmacked. And I sat there for 2 hours with my jaw open, my eyes lit up like it was Christmas. And it was the best experience as a kid at the cinema I've ever had. And everyone knows the story of Star Wars. Princess Leia, Darth Vader, Han Solo, Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D2, Luke Skywalker, they're all in it. And it's all about how Luke Skywalker trains to be a Jedi because he wants to get revenge on the people who killed his family. And he meets Darth Vader, and Obi-Wan Kenobi meets... Oh, it's just a great film. Everyone knows the story, I'm not going to go into it. Then when that ended and I walked out the cinema, I was like, well, I ran out the cinema. Absolutely amazing. My brother were going home up the road. It was glorious. It was just as the sun was starting to go. It was like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night, and we were going way home. Brilliant. And then 3 years later, Saturday morning, same cinema Odeon. I went with my friend from school, Andrew Phillips, aka Mulligan, known as Mushy. We went on a Saturday morning to see The Empire Strikes Back. The Empire Strikes Back wasn't directed by George Lucas, which was a good point. He only produced it. He didn't have as much say in it this time. And it was a very dark and very moody Star Wars film. Brilliant, absolutely great. And I still love the original, I always will do. Same thing, Galaxy Far, Far Away, Vump, it comes on. It's a great experience with a full house. And in this one, you find out Darth Vader's past and why he's got this hold on Luke Skywalker. I won't spoil that in case you haven't seen that at the end. But it's one of them cliffhangers in a soap opera and you think, dun, 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 it's brilliant. Empire Strikes Back was great. Harrison Ford gets frozen in carbonite and everything, and he gets took off to another planet. You also meet Lando Calrissian in this one, which is another good film story. Then we jump 3 years later to 83, and I'm a young adult by this time. I'd left school, I was like 18, 20-year-old, something like that. Then we get the Return of the Jedi, where they all go back to rescue Harrison Ford and carry on this journey to bring peace to the galaxy. And they're all back in it. Princess Leia's back in it. And you also meet the Ewoks for the very first time. They're like little teddy bears that run around this jungle and forest thing. It's really fun. Really, really good fun. And Return of the Jedi, sorry, it does close. It ends. So that was it. You'll find out all the stories tie into each other, and that's how it all ends happily ever after, as they say in the fairy tales. Now we get on to episode 7, Star Wars The Force Awakens. It's been 10 years waiting for this film since Revenge of the Sith. Now it opened up across England on the 16th/17th of December, because we're ahead in time than America. And I had friends going to the midnight showings and everything. And I tried to avoid social media all weekend. I didn't want to watch it, hear anything about it. I didn't want spoilers. Most friends have been good and haven't spoilt it. They've all just said, go and see it. And I've got a lot of friends who appreciate Star Wars up and down the country and in Wales and America and everything. And I've been looking at clips and bits and bobs and everyone's... And there was like an embargo across Facebook and everywhere where people were putting up, don't spoil it, it's not fair. Unfortunately, a couple of friends I used to work with, I won't mention names, decided to try and spoil the film for me by putting snippets of a massive plot hole, big plot point in the story, and telling people, I've saved you so much money, you don't have to go and watch it now. And I thought, outside of the box, it was a crap trick to do. I avoided as much as I could. So I had an idea what was going to happen in one of the plots. The rest of it, I just turned off the internet. I didn't bother with it. Some of my friends defended it, said it's wrong to do what you did. So wherever you are, it didn't work. You didn't spoil it for me. I still love the film. 10 out of 10. Best film of this year, by far. So, 22nd of September... December turned up. I went to the Real Cinema in Morecambe with my husband Richard, and we went to see The Force Awakens. And it didn't disappoint. It was like the original Star Wars 77. It was amazing. It went back. It didn't go back in time because it jumped 30 years on, but some of the characters are back in it. Well, they're all in it, but in different parts of the film you see them along. And it's basically, the Force is really the Jedi's. They're the Force, right? And the Force has been quiet for nearly 30 years because of what happened in Return of the Jedi. And something stirs in the Force, and this is why it awakens, and they call it The Force Awakens. I'm not going to go into any spoilers for anybody, but it is a fantastic film. J.J. Abrams has come good. He did it with Star Trek. He made them films cool. They were good. He did it with one of the Mission Impossibles, number 3, I think it was. Very good film. He's done it with Super 8, which was a throwback to Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind, things like that. That was a good film. J.B. Abrams has done another good film. Star Wars: The Force Awakens gives you hope. It was a good experience. The bad experience for me is I watched it in 3D. They call it the IMAX experience at the real cinema. The glasses were too heavy for me because I wear glasses anyway, and on top, and I keep taking them off. It was very, very dark in 3D. I don't know why, but it was like it's like going into a nightclub with sunglasses on. I don't get the point. Why would you go into a dark nightclub wearing sunglasses? It was too dark. Either it was me or the screen was wrong. Other people might have seen it in different theatres with different styles of glasses, but the ones I had, the Dolby ones, I didn't like at all. And I was kept doing this and taking them off and kept doing that and putting my glasses, and I was like, the film itself, the audio and everything was brilliant. I am going back again sometime this week to see it in 2D without 3D, so hopefully it's nice, clean and crisp. But that's my take up on all the Star Wars films. If you're a fan of Star Wars, comment, send your comments below, like it, share the video, and if you love The Force Awakens, and not everyone sees it, and not everyone goes to the cinema. Some people don't like the cinema, some people can't afford it. If you have seen it, don't spoil it for anyone, because they might want to watch it when it comes out on Blu-ray or on demand or download. Don't spoil it. It's not fair. You spoil it for them, you spoil it for others. Because when people try to spoil it on my Facebook, I've got other people across the world, over 300 odd people, friends there, and I correspond with all my film friends, and some of them haven't seen it. And one of my friends in Cardiff, even in Wales, turned around and said it was a shit trick to do. It's not right. If you've not seen it, if you've seen it, don't spoil it for others who haven't. They waited 10 years. I waited 10 years. And the experience, it didn't... On the day I found out that one of the plots that they put on, I was angry, pissed off. I thought, I've waited 10 years for this. Why? I wouldn't go into you and do it to you. So that's me rant. I remember The Sixth Sense coming out on cinema. I didn't fancy it on the cinema, but I waited and waited and waited till it come out on DVD. And before I watched it, somebody told me the biggest twist in the whole film. So all the while through, I'm watching the film. The film's a good film. It's a great film. M. Night Shyamalan did a good movie. But when you know the major twist and plot in it, it takes away the greatness of watching something good. Now, if you've never seen The Sixth Sense, I won't give you the twist or anything. But it's like that with Star Wars. You don't give away plots. You might get a kick out of it, but other people don't, and it fucking pisses me right off. Because I won't sit in there. I'll do reviews on films, and I'll show people clips, and I'll put trailers on and say, oh, this looks good. But I never turn around and say, oh, he dies at the end, and she gets shot, and he's done that, and he's done this. Why? It's not fair. People spend a lot of money, and a lot of good money, going to cinema or Blu-ray or whatever, and they spend a lot of money. And to spoil it for them, just because you get a kick out of it, is wrong. That's me rant over. Have a fantastic new year for 2016. Hope you enjoyed the video. Share it if you like, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.